Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video on this channel. My name is Marcelina. I'm a teen author. I write books. These are both standalones. You can start anywhere, although I recommend starting with this book. They're both available on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, and Barnes & Noble. They are YA mystery romance standalone. This is more like FBI detective, like investigative type of mystery with a love triangle. This is more murder mystery with academic rivals to lovers, dark romance vibes, trauma healing. Let's address the elephant in the room. My hair. As you will see from the rest of this video, my hair is long. I just got it cut and relayered yesterday. We're going back in time, but I wanted to have an intro to introduce, but we're starting a new book. We're writing a new book. We're writing draft 1. I estimate the draft to be about 90,000 words. Not entirely sure how that's gonna go, but this new book is called Two Hearts in the Crossfire. Release date is to be determined. Please subscribe and stay tuned because I will be announcing that sometime in June, sometime very soon. But it is a YA psychological thriller slasher romance inspired by the A-List series as well as the Scream franchise, with a very addictive, cute, squeal-worthy, swoon-worthy childhood friends to lovers romance. I'm so excited, especially because I've spent the last 3 months outlining and planning. We're finally getting into writing. We can finally start writing this thing. It's gonna be a beast of a book. So I'm going to be doing a series of writing vlogs where I document my journey, document how it's going, how many words I write, what I'm writing, even though I can't give spoilers, talk about the context of the scenes, how I feel while writing them. If you're a fellow writer, this is totally the place for you. Hopefully you might get inspiration, see that it's possible even as a teenager and that age does not define talent. But if you're just a reader, I hope that some of the things I say will intrigue you and make you immediately add this book to your TBR. I specifically chose to wait to start the first draft of this book to start writing until the summer because I know that I have too much on my plate with school and student council to do that during the school year. So now that my sophomore year of high school is over, I got straight A's. It is now summer. We can start writing this book that coincidentally takes place during a summer camp. Join a teen writer with delusional goals and an even more delusional taste in fictional men as she starts writing her third book. Let's go! Okay, so first things first, we're going to get my word tracker set up before I can even start writing. I did this with my last book. Basically, I use this website called Pacemaker Planner. It is so incredibly helpful. There's a free version and a paid version. I have only used the free version for 3 years and I have no problem with it. There's still so many really accessible, really helpful features, and I would totally recommend it. You just need to create an account, but everything's totally free. So as you can see, I already used it for LIPD, so we are just going to make one for Two Hearts in the Crossfire, and I'm going to take you along with me. So the first step is create a plan. But let's go over here. This is mainly what we need to focus on right now. And let's just start kind of going through it and editing it. So the first part is the name. Your word tracker is public domain, meaning if someone goes onto the Pacemaker app and searches up your username, they can see exactly what you're doing. You have to get the premium to make it private. And I only bring this point up, that's not really an issue for me. I don't really care, honestly, but I bring that up because I really like to keep my title kind of close to my chest in terms of what I can and can't control. I have no problem mentioning it a year early on my YouTube channel because I love you guys and I trust you guys and I know that you guys are not going to steal from me, and that if you do, I have a lot of proof that would back it up. But I feel when I'm doing this on some unknown Pacemaker website, when I've never actually met anyone else who uses this website, they could be TradPub authors. I know TradPub and indie authors use this website, so it's I'm just very paranoid when it comes to this. So I never like to put the full name of the project. I'm not going to put Two Hearts in the Crossfire just because anyone can see it and then they might copy the title. So we're just going to do, I always just like to do initials. So we're just going to do THITC. And then we'll do psychological thriller romance. So I usually kind of like to do the general synopsis of the book. And then let me just keep it zoomed in. Sorry, this angle's really bad. I just need to keep my phone up. Okay, so then activity, it technically says drafting, which is correct. But just for technical purposes, I just like to change it to writing. And then we have content. It is not a novella. It is a full-length novel. Then we go down here, and this is where things start to get a little bit finicky. This is where you have to kind of use your brain. It's asking you for your word count goal. Truth be told, I don't know. because I just finished outlining the chapters last night, and I've come up with, I believe, 46 or 47. I think I'm going to revise the ending because I want to add a little bit more to the ending, but there's between 45 and 50 chapters. But I don't know how many that's going to equate into words, because my goal for this book is to have shorter chapters that are definitely punchier and kind of keep the suspense up. But then I feel like some of my chapters are kind of long in the way that I outline them, so I'm probably gonna have to split them up. But I feel like for this, we just gotta go off of patterns. So for The Bolt That Divides Us, my first draft was about 90k. And then for Labeled Innocent, Presumed Dead, my first draft was 91,000 words. So I feel like since 90k is kind of my average goal, and I don't know, I just feel like I can see this book being around the same length, we're just going to put my target goal as 90,000 words. And the cool thing about this website is you could always change it. So if I decide later down the line, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? This book is not going to be as long as 90,000. It's only going to be 80,000. Then I can just switch it and it'll readjust my graph. We're just going to say 90,000 right now because that sounds about right. I don't have a maximum daily word limit because one time I wrote 6,000 words in one day. Actually, I take that back. I did a video on it. One time I wrote 10,000 words in one day. Moment of silence for that because that was torture. But I really don't monitor that. I just need progress is progress. My start date is going to be today. It is May 25th, 2026. And this is where we also have to use my brain. The target finish date. I'm just sitting here right now trying to think. I think I'm going to give myself exactly 2 months. So let me look at my calendar. Something about me, I think I've talked about this before, is that I like to give myself like 2 or so weeks before I start editing. Like I'll just let it sit. And I think it's important to let your first draft sit before you work on the second draft and you start editing that. So if I stop, that's perfect. That'll be a Saturday. So if I finish writing on Saturday, which is exactly 2 months, that would be July 25th. Then by the time I start editing, it'll be right around the weekend before school starts or right around when school starts, which for me, usually the first week of school isn't too busy. My phone just fell. I'm so sorry. The frame is probably different. I'm really sorry, but I'll say July 24th actually, because I'm more productive on the weekdays than weekends just because like my dad doesn't have work on weekends. So he's always here. So I do better when I'm just like, it's a weekday during the summer and I'm by myself. Okay. So we're going to go, today, which is May 25th to July 24th. Fingers crossed that I can actually pull that off. And then this one is always kind of, you don't need to put too much thought into this section. It's basically when it's just asking when it makes the graph how you want it to organize it. So for me, I would definitely say I'm a steady person with this type of thing. I like the same amount of things every day. And then it asks on weekends, do I want to skip, do less, the usual, do more, push? I would definitely say the usual. And then you can reserve free days at the end, which is kind of cool. So like if you know you kind of want to treat yourself toward the end, or if you have like a birthday coming up toward the end or something, it'll like, you can say, let's say you want to reserve 2 free days at the end of your goal. So technically you're going to start 2 days before your goal. And then it'll just kind of shift around how many words you need to write per day so that you can have these free like vacation days at the end. I never do those though because I'm always like in grind crutch mode at the very end. I actually work a lot faster and more productively when I'm at the end of my deadline. Don't know why. I think it's the pressure and the adrenaline, but I don't really do that. And then this is what I was talking about. So right now, as you can see, it's showing a like template demo default version as a calendar, which I know this works for some people, but for me, I just don't like it. I like the graph. There we go. I like the graph option. So this looks more, if it'll load, this looks more like this. So it has 2 different sections. I'll show you when I'm like done. So it has the daily work. So then you can kind of track how many words you logged on for this day. And then it has your overall progress. And then this is how many words I roughly need to write per day. So it's saying I roughly need to write about 1,500 words per day. And then it's saying like in order to reach my goal, which is, like I said, July 24th, For example, by June 18th, I need to be at 36,900 words to be on track to reach my goal, if that makes sense. For me, weeks begin on Mondays. I know technically it's Sunday, like from if you want to be technical, but like from a personal standpoint, I kind of restart and reset myself and my week and my like habits and stuff on Mondays. So I just like to put that. We group the schedule by day. And then finally it asks, does your plan change with your progress? So basically the first one is I want my plan to adjust based on my progress so I can keep the same relative pace. Or I want my plan to stay the same as I work. I want to see how far ahead or behind I am from my original plan. What that means is basically what the graph will do is if you say you want it to adjust to where you're going, if you're writing a lot, like if you're writing, let's say, because I only have to write 1,500 words, let's say if you start logging in 3,000 words every single day, and every single day you're writing like twice as much as you should be, it'll adjust it. So then it starts adapting like, hey, she's writing 3,000 words every day. She's more than capable. And then it'll start kind of making you write 3,000 words every day, if that makes sense. So it'll adjust it based on where you're going, or vice versa. If you're writing really slow and you're supposed to write 1,500, but you're only writing like 200 words a day, it'll break it up so it'll actually expand your deadline and make it so that if you keep that pace and you're still only writing 200 or 300 words a day, when would you be able to finish? But I personally don't like that because I'm somebody who, if I don't have like a very strict deadline, I'm not going to do it. If I have something that's very flexible, that's very bendable, I will take advantage of that and I will never finish the book. Like for me, I need something strict, disciplined. I need like one deadline. It's not going to change. It's not going to slow down for me. So that's why I always opt for the second option, which is I want my plan to stay the same as I work. And then finally, how will you record your progress? Do you want it to be like overall? So like each day you'll say, my document is at 20,000 words. Or do you want to do what I do, which is each day I'll record what I did. So each day you'll be like, I wrote 1,100 words. I wrote 2,000 words. I wrote 5,000 words today. And then it adds up in the graph. So yeah, that's it. That is all the questions. So then when you're done, I always like to hit save just because sometimes it doesn't save. So you want to hit save up here. But then creates the graph and then it's full screen now. So I can show you. Let me bring this up. So basically this is the full screen look. We have the title. Again, we have two graphs for the daily work. So this will just kind of tell me my progress. And then this is like what I should be at in terms of like word count in the document. So that by the 24th, I will be at 90K. Fingers crossed, hopefully. And then let me just show you real quick. I'll show you like as I start writing. But if you're done with your day and you're like, oh, let's say you wrote 1,000 words and you want to add it. You go up to here and you hit progress. And then it has the date. And what's cool about this is you can go back. So for example, you can add progress. And if it won't let me do it now because I just started today. But for example, this has happened so many times last year. But if you're really tired or if you forget or just don't have screen time and you forget to track one day, again, it won't let me do it now, but it will going forward. You can actually go back days. So for example, if I wrote yesterday but I didn't track it, I could go back so it tracks for yesterday. But because we're starting on the 25th, it does that. And then you just hit like 1,000 and then you hit save. And I don't want to do it, but then it adds to your graph. And then it'll let you know what your target word is. But then if you meet it, so let's say I'm at 1,500, it'll put a little check mark right there, which I think is cool to like remind you like, yay, congrats, you hit what you were supposed to. But yeah, let me get out of this. So yeah, that's the website I use. I really, really recommend it. And I'm also a visual learner, so having like a visual graph like this, because I'll show you when I start adding things, but it'll start doing two lines. So there'll be a green line and then the blue line. So if you are writing less than you should, the green line will go underneath. So it's a very good visual representation that'll let you know, hey, you're falling behind, or hey, you're doing really well. You know, you're ahead. You can kind of take it easy a couple of days because you're actually way ahead of what you're supposed to do. You're still going to make it on time. So I think it's just really helpful for me to stay accountable. And I get this question so many times, but everyone always asks me like, I can never finish my book. Like, how do you always manage to finish your book and write a whole first draft in a month or 2 months? Like I've been working on my book for a year, or I always abandon projects. Obviously, I don't think this is a perfect method. Like I said, I don't think it'll work for everybody, but I think if you are someone like that, if you are struggling to finish your first draft and can't get through it, always abandon it, it's taken you years and years to write it, I would recommend trying this out, see if it helps you, because I think the organization and accountability of it all really, really helps me. So yeah, now I got it done. It is officially made and it is ready for words to be added to it, which means it is ready for me to start writing. I'm so excited. Like the sunrise, you know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it rain. I don't know why, but there's something so satisfying about being able to pick fonts for your book for the first time, because I keep it consistent. So with the title page, all of the pages, the chapter headings, everything. So once I pick a font, that's the font I'm going to use. Sometimes it's the font I use for the cover as well. It just kind of depends. So I just picked the font for Two Hearts in the Crossfire. I did rock salt on Google Docs, and I decided to do as you saw, a strike through with my name, and I am kind of obsessed. I was gonna do it through the title, but I don't want people to get confused and think that like it wasn't a word in the title. I was gonna cross out Crossfire, but then I don't want people to think it's 2 hearts in the, but that's a cool little touch, because let's just say that the killer is very, 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 very mentally unstable, and we see through their POV, and they have a lot of mental issues that cause them to go crazy. And I don't know, I just thought that would be like a really kind of creepy, disturbing touch that would add a little bit of personality to literally the title page. But I'm obsessed. I think rock salt is perfect for this kind of like creepy rock carving slasher, someone going insane in a mental hospital kind of vibe. So I'm obsessed. What the heck did I just write? I just finished the prologue. I can't even read any of it on YouTube. YouTube will probably kick me off and never let me back in its website ever again. What in the world is wrong with what is wrong with me? What is wrong with my brain? I think I need to check myself to a mental hospital, because this is, let me check, 225 words of pure disturbing, insane person behavior. 225 words. And I used every descriptive, violent, gory term and word and phrase known to man. 225 words. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Like, I'm genuinely scared. Anyone in the law ever reads this, they are putting a warrant out for my arrest. I'm just saying, this is really, really bad. Like, this is bad. But at least the prologue's done. Woo! 225 words down. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm scared of myself at this point. I'm gonna take a break before we move on to chapter 1, because I don't think my brain is in the right place for this right now. Like, I'm mentally disturbed. Oh my gosh. Okay, a little bit of an update. It is many, many hours later. It's 5:36 p.m. I'm about, I'll have to check, I think we're about 400 words into chapter 1, and it's actually going really well. Surprisingly, it was starting off really, really slow. I feel like, to be honest, I haven't written, like, I was writing a little bit of a side project about a month or 2 ago, and so I was kind of working on that to keep my writing muscles and my writing skills active and making sure I didn't completely forget how to write. But then I kind of, with finals and honestly the whole month of May, I didn't work on that at all. So I haven't written in like a month, so I feel like not just so much the book or Athena's character voice, it's just I haven't written in a while, so I'm a little bit rusty with that. It's like if you haven't played your favorite video game in a while, you still know how to play and you'll get those skills back eventually, you're just really rusty. So that's how I feel with writing right now. So it's going a little slower. I think total for the day I'm only at like 600 words, and I started 5 hours ago, so it's definitely slower. I think if this time last year I would be at least 1,000 words by now, but it's okay. I'm just reminding myself this is the first day. I don't need to be cranking out 5,000 words, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to put that pressure on myself. I think I'm just getting a little spoiled because I was able to write 10,000 words for my last day to finish off my last book. But, you know, if I end with 700 or 800 words, I am completely fine with that. So I'll give you like the official final word count for day 1 at the end. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in. My computer is about to die, so I need to go charge that right now. I'm gonna get in the shower because I have a student council event tomorrow and Wednesday that I need to do, so I need to get up early. So yeah, basically my writing time tomorrow is going to be a little bit skewed, but honestly it's okay because both days end at 1 p.m. and I actually didn't start writing today until about 1 p.m. So, you know, I don't think it'll completely ruin it. I think if I can get up early enough, I'm going to try to get up at 7 tomorrow and maybe write a little in between getting ready and eating, and then walk in after I get home. It should be okay. But yeah, I feel like the beginning was slow. I'm going through like Athena, she's researching for a science project. That's where the bees and honey thing comes in that I think I mentioned. And then she's getting bored of that, and I wanted to show off one of her hobbies, which is sketching. There was like a whole scene of her drawing a face and like watching a tutorial on YouTube, and like I had to watch my own tutorial to kind of like know some artsy terms. So she's like drawing in guidelines and blocking, and she's just like there was a whole like she just felt on top of the world how passionate she is through art and about art, and like just a little bit of like how much she loves it. And like, you know, I gave some little hints, like for example, she's on the last page of her sketchbook, which without saying it, that basically tells you that she does it a lot, and she's, you know, it's definitely an everyday thing that she loves. In the first page or two of your first chapter, to throw out something that will make the readers get to know your characters. So for example, if you guys can recall from my last book, Natalia, part of her whole character arc, her parents not caring about what she does, but also what leads into the inciting incident of how she gets recruited to this government organization is that she is a hacker. And so I started off basically the entire first chapter. There's some like inner monologue and some exposition about her missing sister, but most of the first chapter was a whole hacking scene where she literally is paragraph by paragraph, step by step, walking you guys through like how she hacks and kind of like her process with that. And I think if you can throw in a hobby or them doing a hobby or something just to showcase more about them, other than don't start with physical description. I've learned that you can throw that in later. I know everyone's like, don't use physical description. My rule of thumb is you can totally use physical description, just don't do it in the first chapter, because nobody cares. People care more about relating to your character's personality, so that can be achieved through dialogue or their inner monologue and their attitude toward things, if they have a big attitude or not, and then also through their hobbies. So I really wanted Athena's hobby. Again, her main one is sketching. She does like scrapbooking and crocheting, and Legos is a huge passion of hers, but drawing, there's some symbolism there. There's like part of her backstory connects to something that you guys need to know later, so like it's important for that, but also it's just like her hobby. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Actually, now that I'm talking about that, I want to add a line. I have a line that I just thought of that I want to add, and that was all just inner monologue. But then her dad comes in and she needs to finish packing for the summer camp because they leave in an hour. So her dad comes in, and then we have a little dialogue tense scene between them to showcase their relationship, and so you guys can get a glimpse of what their relationship is like. And for some reason, the dialogue was flowing off my, not even my tongue, my hands, my fingers. Like I was so like bit by bit trudging through the rest of it, and then I get to the dialogue and I'm like rapid fire. It's the weirdest thing. I think what's even stranger is dialogue is like the number one thing I struggle with, so I don't know why that particular conversation and interaction between them is going so well, but it is. I mean, it was a very short scene. It's done now. Like, her dad didn't linger for long. He left. I'm gonna add a little cute Levi mention. Levi's gonna get his first little mention. And I have a really cute scene. I want to keep it under wraps, but it's gonna make you guys squeal. It's so cute. It's so cute. So I think I'm gonna work on that next. And then we're gonna do a scene break. And then we're gonna do the car ride, I think. Anyway, we're moving slowly but surely, I guess. Okay, guys. Day 1, word count reveal. I'm checking right now. Freaking go. We hit 1,000. We hit 1,000. We hit 1,000. I have written, I'm so excited. That's all. I just saw the one. We have written 1,061 words. Day 1. First day writing this book. First day back from writing in like a month. We have not finished chapter 1. I was hoping to finish chapter 1. I'm delusional. I haven't even gone to the scene break yet. This chapter is going to be longer than I thought, apparently. But I wrote the whole prologue, and then I would say I'm about almost basically halfway through chapter 1, and for the whole day, first day, we've written 1,061 words. I think I said this earlier, but like I just wanted to hit, I didn't really care, but like secretly I just wanted to hit 1,000. Like that would have been really, really, really cool, because 1,000 was kind of my average every day last year. Every day in the summer when I was writing Linn-Books and Percent Dead, it was always 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So the fact that I still got it, apparently I'm not that rusty. I can still write a lot in one day, even though I thought it went really painfully slow today. I still wrote 1,000 words, and I am so excited and so happy and grateful. And I think it wasn't just like throwaway words. I think a lot of what I wrote today was really, really good. So I'm so happy. I gotta go to sleep now. It's currently 10:22 p.m. and I have to get up at 7 a.m. for a student council event tomorrow. So I'll check in with you guys later. I'm so proud of myself for writing that much right off the bat. Hey guys, today is currently the next day. It is Tuesday, May 26th, 9:59 p.m. Wow, I did not realize it was so late. Today has been a very, very, very weird day. I really need to go to bed. My mom's like trying to get me to go to bed, so I need to speed this up. But I had a student council meeting today. I think I mentioned that in the last clip, and I had to wake up at 7. I ended up getting home at like 12:40ish, which was a little bit earlier, but then I was so wiped. I don't know what it is at today. I don't know if it's just because it's the first time in 3 days since my summer break started that I had to wake up early. I don't know if it's just like I was with my friend. And the student council's been really, really lonely all last year, and like I've been really bullied and excluded. I now have a friend who just joined, so like we've been clinging on to each other, and it's been a lot nicer to have somebody who actually like appreciates me and values what I have to say and actually like, you know, likes me in there. So that's been nice, and it's made it not as miserable, but it's still also really emotionally draining and exhausting, and just like it's just a lot. So I don't know what it was, but I just came home feeling incredibly tired, incredibly drained, just really unproductive, and like I don't want to do anything. So I'm gonna be so honest, I doom scrolled and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Maybe you guys can relate to that. Like just because I'm a writer, just because I'm a published author, nonetheless does not mean that all my days are really productive. Like yes, I still doom scroll. Like it's really bad, and I rarely do it anymore because I'm always so busy like writing or doing something for my channel. Like I always have something productive to do, but today has just been really, really weird for my mental health, and I don't know why I felt so detached from doing any responsibilities. I'm just like really not in the mood to do anything else. All of a sudden, when my mom was like, okay, you have 30 minutes before you're gonna go to bed, 9:30 p.m. I'm like, I'm just gonna write a little, because prior to 9:30 p.m. I had literally written 50 words, I think. So I just start speed typing. I don't know what happens. Similar to last night. Again, I don't know, but you're going to see. We're going to add up the words together. So it looks like, if I can get to highlighting, right there. Okay. Drum roll, please. It looks like, oh my gosh. Okay. I wrote 650 words today. And when I say today, I mean in the last 30 minutes, because like I said, I wrote like 50 words earlier in the day, so I literally wrote 600 words in 30 minutes. That's actually really good. Like I never really thought my writing speed was that good, but 600 words in 30 minutes is pretty dang good. That brings us to 1,711 words for the total manuscript so far, so from today and yesterday. You guys can see, where's the camera? I'm already sinking very much below. The blue line is where I should be, and the green line is where I am. So I'm very much starting to get behind. Like, as of today, I should be at basically 3,000 total words, and I'm only at 1,700. But it's okay. I really don't need to compete with myself here. Like, I already know I have another student council event tomorrow, the same exact hours. But, like, Thursday and Friday, I'm gonna make it a priority. I'm gonna make it a requirement. I'm writing like at least 2,000 words for each day, so like at that point I should be able to catch up. So like I know it's all gonna work out in the end. I'm not too concerned about that, but progress is progress. I just wanted to get more than 400 words today, and I did manage to do that. And I don't know where these random bursts of like motivation and inspiration and demon flow typing is coming from, but something is seriously possessing me, and I'm for once grateful about that. It is 4:08 p.m. on May 28th, and we have finished the first chapter of Two Hearts in the Crossfire. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm just going to read off the last line for you guys. something clawed at me that Camp Moonstone Summit would change me. Like I wouldn't be the same person in 3 weeks, which is very true. And I just want you to realize the parallels between that line and the last line of the prologue, which again, reminder is from the killer's POV, right? The camp starts today. It's June 16th, 2025. In 3 weeks, everything will end. My life will begin. Don't we love that parallel? Because the killer's life will begin at the end of the 3 weeks, at the end of the camp, because of what they're planning to do. But Athena, due to just a lot of stuff in her head, the fact that she didn't even want to go to this camp to begin with, she feels like her life is going to end in 3 weeks. Don't we love that? It's like the symbolism is so layered and it goes so deep, especially once you know who the killer is. Like it's so like harmonic and beautiful, but also like really sad. Like it's just deeply depressing at the same time. But yeah, the chapter is done. We are now officially at 2,515 words for the total manuscript. Kind of my average for chapters. I don't really care too much about how much my chapters, like how long they are, how many words they are. This is just a reminder that you guys shouldn't either. It really does not matter. My goal was to kind of have shorter chapters for this book. It's fine. It's fine. They'll be sprinkled elsewhere. And I feel like this is the one chapter I don't want to split up, even though I do have a scene break. And a lot of the times you could split up scene breaks into different chapters, but I figure it's the first chapter, it doesn't really matter. And 2,000 words is not that long. Like, don't let me brainwash you. 2,000 words is not long. I think once you start getting into 3,000, that's a little like alarm, 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 police sirens, a little iffy, but I think we're good. And I got all the necessary information. We have hit all of the points that I put on my chapter by chapter outline. And I think overall, if I had to give a rating for the first chapter, I would say it's a solid like 7 out of 10. I feel like the pacing is really bad. I feel like it's way too fast. I feel like everything is just, we're just jumping from one topic to the next. But I feel like the writing is really good. I feel like the writing style and how I'm choosing to write Athena's thoughts and her character voice and her inner monologue is really good. Like, I am loving it. It's so different than anything I've ever written, but Athena is a totally different person, so I just feel like it's very her. Yeah, for me, I think I don't want to worry about future editing problems, which is really just, I'm going to need to slow this down because it's really fast right now and it's a little bit like incoherent thoughts. But I feel like it's going well. I feel like the actual writing is good. For me being rusty and have not written in like a month or two, I feel like my writing is good and the dialogue is good, and yeah, so I love Athena. She's my baby girl. She's just the most cutie patootie cutie pie ever. I love her. And yeah, first chapter is done. Let's go.
I still remember loving the danger. You set me on fire when I'm by your side, taking me higher. I'll follow you down if you go down. Now you say you wanna get away, you wanna take me all the way. Might get burned if you get closer to the sun. I want ya. We can burn together, fading into one another. Oh.
And just like that, we have hit our first over 2K day, over 1100 day, like literally. It's almost 11 p.m. so I can't like be jumping. I don't think my downstairs neighbors would appreciate that. But oh my gosh, 3,000 words. Basically -2, basically 3,100 words. But 3,000 words. Are we kidding right now? I feel on top of the world, on top of the moon, on top of the sky, on top of the galaxy. I don't even have words right now. I am just beyond incredible. And you know the funniest part? I would think, oh, after writing 3,000 words, you must be so tired of writing, you know, you must be like so burnt out. I'm literally not. I could honestly go write another 1,000 words right now if it wasn't 11 p.m. What? I don't even know. I really can't even tell you what's happening to me right now. I literally was almost done with chapter 1. I had like a page roughly left of chapter 1. I did that, and I did all of chapter 2. And mind you, chapter 2 is like, I'm trying to think, 6 pages. Like, chapter 2 is long. I'm not trying to give the impression that chapter 2 is short. Like, it's really long, plus the end of chapter 1. Like, literally 3,000 words is so much in one day. And technically, if you really want to be technical, it was half of a day. Because I don't really know what it is or like what happened to me. I think just because my body, like, I've been, honestly, this entire school year, I was getting about 6, maybe 6.5 on a good night, hours of sleep every single night. I've been just surviving off of so little sleep for months that my body just crashed. I literally slept until 12:30 p.m. today. Like, I was so mad at myself. Like, I obviously know sleep comes first, my body comes first, but I was so mad because I hate waking up past like 10:30, because to me it just feels like I'm wasting the day away. That's the one thing about me. It drives me crazy if I'm not productive. Like, I feel like ashamed and like almost stressed out if I'm not doing something that is productive. And so by me sleeping, I just consider that part of that. So anyway, I was just so really stressed out because then before I know it, I have to go to bed again, and like I'm only gonna be up for like 9 or 10 hours, and it's just like, it makes me sad. So anyway, I was really upset at myself that I did that, even though I know it's for the best and clearly my body needs it. And I just was feeling a little under the weather today anyway, so that's also probably why my body wanted to sleep. But I have to admit though, I didn't start writing right when I got up. I was scrolling on Pinterest. I was doing that until about 1:30 or 2, and I was like, oh, it's been like an hour and a half. I should probably start writing. So basically, we'll just say it was 1:30 when I started writing. It is now 11. So basically, it wasn't even a full day. And honestly, I was so distracted earlier in the afternoon. I think I really kicked it into high gear around 6, and then like 6 to 8:30, non-stop. I was just in the room alone by myself. It was getting dark. I didn't care. I was like, I don't know, I was in a mood. Like, I had totally spaced out, and I just started writing. And much of that was Valerie's dialogue, and I am obsessed with her and Athena's new friendship and their dynamic. And I was kind of doing this explanatory thing, and it was so fun. It was so good. Such a clever way to give exposition without it feeling like info dumping. Hopefully we'll come back to it later, and obviously I'll get people's feedback on if it was a little too much. But I think it was a creative way to kind of introduce everybody without being like, my name is Aiden, my name is Emily, my name is Katie, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was really, really fun, and I just flew through it, and it just came really naturally to me. More so than Athena's interactions with her dad, that I also have decided I hate from day one. Calm that, I'm the first proud and loud hater, okay? Like, none of y'all can say, oh, I'm the #1 Paul hater. No. That's me. That's my title. That's my role. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I'm very, very happy. I think it went well. I think for some reason in 2 hours I wrote the majority of those 3,000 words, and I don't know why, I don't know how. I just know that it happened, and I'm so grateful and so excited for you guys to read it. And I love writing, and I love this book right now, and I know I'm riding a high because I was so productive, and I know the rest of this journey writing 2 Hearts in the Crossfire is not gonna feel like this, but I'm just gonna enjoy this high right now and just live it and live up and party and just be happy, because I think these are the moments you want to treasure when you're writing a book more than the final product. So I'm just so happy that I was so productive today, and I wrote so many freaking words. It's incredible. But with that, we're gonna end this video on a high, because I feel like tomorrow, like, I'm gonna try to be productive tomorrow because it's Friday, and we're actually gonna write Only by Athena scene. So hey, it's a perfect way to end a Friday. I don't know if it can get better than this, honestly, so we're just gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Every step of the way, I will keep you guys posted, but that is going to be it. This is like the part 1 of the series, so please subscribe if you want to stay caught up, if you're invested now in my book, if you want to read this book eventually, or if you're a fellow writer and you love seeing other teen writers write their books. And it would mean the absolute world to me. I love to build a community here of amazing other writers and readers, and I love you guys so much. I will see you on the next video very, very soon. Bye!